the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Whoa, 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 ahoy, whoa, whoa, whoa. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and teddy pants less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the two and then we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest with a laugh and a cheer. We lay down our bets, no serious analysis, no expert critique, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. Sideline jokes and post-match tales, all the big goofs and epic fails. We're not so serious and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy, ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Wasted world of sports, here's to more cheers. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.
Waste of Water Sports crew, ahoy! How about that? That is the first time ever, I think, that we have timed the intro music to perfection. And that can only mean good things for the rest of the night, right? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm going to take it. We're off to a good start. Ahoy, everyone. Chris Bradley, Gamer Mel, Odd Poppet. Ahoy, mate. I've got to make sure that I get the channel members first and foremost. Geordie, ahoy, mate. There we go. Welcome along. Ready for this one. Cronulla Sharks taking on the Manly Seagulls. How are we all feeling after Wednesday night, huh? Have we all backed up? We're all ready to go for more footy action. And look, coming off the back of that Origin game, this is almost the perfect game to be backing up with. Yes, there's a couple of players out who are missing because of Origin duty and not backing up, but the team's so evenly matched, in my opinion. Look, we all know I'm a Cronulla Sharks supporter. I've got to say, though, I do have Manly winning this in a close one. I would love for my Sharks to win, but I just think Manly, they're just on a roll at the moment. They're too strong, and Cronulla's defence up the middle still bothers me a lot. They have a tendency to drift in and out of games, so even if the Sharks are ahead by like 30-0 at some point, I still wouldn't have faith that they won't get run down at the back end of the contest. It's as simple as that. So we'll have to see how it all goes, how it all unfolds. Over on TikTok, ahoy there, welcome along, Nettie. Oh, and I have to open up the Twitch chat room for myself as well. Don't want to miss out on any of the Twitches over there now that we do have a few regulars. We have regulars on Twitch now. Incredible. great to see how the Wasted Water Sports is growing across all the different platforms. Trying out something a little bit different tonight on the TikTok. So there'll be some teething issues. The feed is not going to look as schmick as it normally does. Just a heads up for the TikTokers. I am trying something a little bit new with the cameras over there, trying to figure out what the hell's going wrong, why we get gift suspensions each and every stream. I've got a theory that it might have something to do with the virtual webcam. Anyway, I won't bother you guys with all the details. Big Pelican, ahoy. Hamish McClellan, ahoy, mate. Robert Peters, ahoy, mate. Great game yesterday, clean sweep by the Blues. Yes, of course, for those interested, the Women's State of Origin, New South Wales, got the victory over Queensland, making it a clean sweep. Now, am I to believe correctly that that's the first clean sweep in Women's Origin? I don't know. Honestly, I don't follow it. I hope that it goes extremely well and continues to grow, but I have no idea about the history or the stats or anything to do with it. There we go. It is first ever clean sweep in Women's State of Origin. Of course, they're relatively new to the 3-game series as well. Clint 007, ahoy, mate. Big Pelican says Queensland got unlucky. Yeah, look, I'll talk about it just very, very briefly because we've only got 5 minutes until kickoff in this one. But very, very briefly, I think New South Wales, personally, they almost have to treat going into game 2 as if they lost game 1, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is Laurie Daly, the worst thing in the world that he could do is go, okay, we won, everything's okay. Because everything is not okay. There is no way they should have won that game. So Laurie Daly needs to look at it and treat it as if that were a loss and take that mindset into game 2. Because there were some players who, look, this is a controversial statement, I know, because he scored the match-winning try, but I don't see how James Tedesco gets the gig over Dylan Edwards for the second game. I just don't. Up until that last 10 minutes, he was atrocious. Other players who are in doubt, I think. Look, Tony Staggs was solid on defense, but he didn't offer anything on attack. It wasn't until Queensland were down a man and Kurt Capewell got shifted to the centres. When Kurt Capewell got shifted to the centres, suddenly Tony Staggs came to life, but any other centre in the world would have come to life as well when they're lined up against a second rower. Breck Tub, ahoy, mate. Welcome along. I'm at a H-Man. Thank you very much for the heart me over there on the TikTok. Much appreciated. Nice early gift. Let's see if gifting... As I said, I'm trying something a little different over on the TikTok. Let's see if the gifts stay unsuspended for the duration of this stream. ARW, ahoy, mate. Welcome along. But anyways, yes, I could talk for hours on State of Origin. As a matter of fact, I would love to, if I get the time, I would love to sit down and actually dissect it, get the old drawing board out, and go through some thoughts play by play almost. Rectab91, cheers for the heart me over on TikTok. Sharks versus Manly, just about to get underway in this one. Now, I've got a couple of try scorer opinions on this game, and I will run you quickly through the reasons why we've gone with what we've gone for. So, first and foremost, I feel like the two almost certainties for this game, Mulatalo and Hopewade. And basically, Manly, 11 tries so far this season. 11 tries have been scored by the opposition right wing. And unless they do the dirty on me right before kickoff, Mulatalo has been playing over on the right edge since returning. Covering for Sione Katoa is Sam Stonestreet. So unless they do the dirty switch in that game at Magic Round against the Bulldogs, Mulatalo was over on the right. Manly, 11 tries they've conceded to opposition right wingers. The Sharks, 12 tries that they've leaked to the opposition left wing. Crazy stats. Let's go Sharks, says Gamer Mel. So yeah, Mulatalo and Hopewade, I think, based on that, like both teams are very soft out wide. So we can't give any dead set certainties. Nothing's for sure. Yeah, hang on, no, what is it that they say? The only thing that's for sure is nothing's for sure. As Manly run out onto the fields, Mulatalo has indeed gone straight back to his old self. I wouldn't say here's the reason why I wouldn't say usual self is because he was horribly out of form. The back end of last year, before the injury, the lead up to it, he was horribly out of form, in my opinion. I would say he's back to his old self. Buck Rogers, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Much appreciate it, mate. Oh, boy. That was a strong hit, that one. I like it. That's what you need on a Friday night right before kickoff. Both teams out on the field. The Sharks, the home side. I'm locked into my tip. I've tipped Cronulla. I've tipped with the heart. The head suggests that Manly will win this one quite comfortably. But we'll see. The Sharks are my team, so I've got to back them. I may live to regret that decision in the Wasted Water Sports tipping contest, but we'll see. Anyways, fantastic pre-game chats. I'll have to start jumping on a little earlier with you guys and hanging out a little bit more before the games because we're off and running. Manly will have first use. Manly, of course, without Holy Moly Olakau'atu not backing up from Origin. He had those big cramping issues during the game, so no surprise to not see him there as big defense here early from the Sharks. Pushing Manly very close to the sideline. But they stay in the field of play. That's the type of aggression that you want to see early on from the home side. They need to put on a performance tonight. As Manly shift early, Falolo up in the line. Tries to spin out of the tackle of Trindle. But the Sharks slide across and go with him. Jesse Ramian and Sione Katoa both headed for the Cowboys, by the way. If anyone remembers, about 3 weeks ago, I announced that here on the stream. So, fifth and last, Fogarty from inside the 40. Here's a man who could put a 40-20 in if he's given the chance. But well backed up there is Sam Stonestreet. And yes, Stonestreet standing over there on the left edge. Very good, very good. That's where we want to see him. So they are playing Mulatalo on the right wing. What I was talking about in the pre-game. Thank goodness they didn't pull a sneaky on me. As a late offload here from the Sharks creates high contact from Ben Trbojevic. And the first penalty of the night goes to the Sharks, 20 out from their own line. Ahoy, Geordie. Robert Peters says, let's hope it's a good hard-fought arm wrestle with lots of tries scored. And at least 4 tries and at least the guys that I've picked in the anytime try scorers sheet as the Sharks find touch. 10 short of halfway. Billy Burns met hard in midfield. A slow play the ball ensues after a dominant tackle from the Sea Eagles. Trindle to Rudolph in midfield. Bends the line. Big Toby. Into the Sea Eagles half they go. Here's Fonua-Blake backing up. And no surprise, he was a bit... Let's be honest about Fonua-Blake's performance in Origin. It wasn't too red hot, was it? Trindle back into midfield. Goes short for McInnes. 30 metres out from the line. Short ball puts Burns straight through a gap. He needs support. Grubber's in behind looking for Kennedy. It's been scooped up a metre out from the try line. Fifth and last. Trindle spills it in contacts. Penalty to the Sharks, though, right out in front. Manly offside. Oh, that was a beautiful line run. Billy Burns off the hip of Braden Trindle, 45-degree angle. Bishop, like the bishop on a chessboard. Back towards the posts and slicing straight through. And the Sharks have decided they'll have a shot at 2 here. 4 minutes gone, and they could be up by 2 points. What a start that was. Billy Burns running that Nikora line. No Briton Nikora tonight, of course, not backing up from Origin. And that was just the perfect angle back in, finding the weak shoulder. Beautiful play. Should have led to a try, but they'll take the 2 points. It's right out in front. And some reward for that fantastic set of 6 to open the game. Trindle taking all the time allotted to him. 10 metres out just to the right of the post. Oh, my God. Oh, he's nearly missed it. A metre to the right of the post. Oh, he so nearly missed it. Trindle puts it through, though, and it's 2 points to 0. Sharks lead. What a start. Sharks could be on tonight, says Rick Tubb. And they've certainly started very well. But as I was talking about in the lead-up, the Sharks have a tendency to drift in and out of games, and you just never know. You never know. I think they could be 30 points ahead, and you still wouldn't feel safe as a Cronulla Sharks supporter. I mean, trust me on that one. As a Cronulla Sharks supporter, take my word for it. Yes, he wanted to give me a heart attack, and mission succeeded almost. Game of Mel. I felt the sting. It was starting to rumble. Reuben Garrick gets us back underway. Sending it deep down into the right edge for Kennedy to give to Rudolph. And Toby Rudolph into contact. Not Ben Trbojevic, Jake Trbojevic there to make the big tackle in midfield as the Sharks now come out of territory. 20 out from their own line. Fonua-Blake goes on a good carry. Knee crumbler, ahoy, mate. You got the Sharks tonight and the Wars 1,000-0 tomorrow. Geordie says the shot clocks should be less and should be at least 45 seconds to speed up the game as Will Kennedy takes the 5th and last 10 short of halfway. Trindle down the short side, puts the kick deep. And an easy take at the back for Falolo, who runs into a wall of Sharks defenders and he's driven back in the tackle. Manly stuck inside their own 20. Saab with a carry in midfield. Slow play the ball. Dominant tackles here early on for Cronulla. Norm Mack says Hopawade first try. I'll be happy with that since he's one of my try scorer picks. Paseka, 10 short of halfway. He's put on his back. 5th and last here for Manly. Another good defensive set for the Sharks. Only 34 metres gained. The kick downfield is a nice one from Fogarty. Taken on the full by Kennedy. And the Sharks fullback now glides sideways. Can't duck under the tackle of Felidi. Sharks still inside their own 20. No Kailero tonight, of course. He was a late withdrawal. That's a big out, although Moani Hiroti has done quite nicely. No Nicho Hynes as well, of course, which is actually a good thing, I think. We'll get to see how the future of the Sharks halves goes in Puru. But also, Trindle gets to run the show. 5th and last for the Sharks. Here is Trindle putting the kick downfield. Backing up for it, Falolo. And Clayton will bring it back outside the 20-metre line. Good kick return. Knee crumbler. You got your kid too deep into supporting the Wars. She was screaming it to random humans out the window last weekend. But that's a good thing, knee crumbler. You've got to get them on the bandwagon early. Nice and early. 35 out from their own line. Here's Hopewadi. Runs into Billy Burns and they drag him back. Literally drag him backwards about 10 metres back to the 30 line. This is big defence from the Sharks tonight. No Koula, of course, for Manly. Fifth and last, again, only a 30-metre set. Fogarty with another good kick, though. Turning the Sharks around. Stone Street backing up for it. And Samuel Stone Street will run it back to the Sharks 20. Geordie, you heard something from Gus Gould with a game with five tries each, with 10 conversions. That's 15 minutes out of the game. Six more tackles here for the Sharks. Ramian gets a late offload. Back for Brailey. Quick hands. McInnes for Fonua-Blake turns it back inside. And Puru has his first run of the evening. Scaife, 97. Ahoy, mate. Sharks well on top at the moment to start this game. 9 minutes of pure domination. They need a try as Brailey out of dummy half goes straight up the middle. Brailey with one to beat. Draws in the fullback. And Puru will score. Right on cue. They needed that, the Sharks. Some reward for all their early domination. And Nicho Hynes' replacement. Puru scores the try under the posts. What a start from the Sharks. Brailey finding the space in the triangle behind the play the ball. Straight through he goes. Some poor defense from Kobe Hetherington. Draws in Falolo at the back and puts Puru away. But well, he should have scored it under the posts. For some reason, he angled off and went beside the posts. But anyway, a try's a try, and they'll take it. 6-0. The Sharks lead. Michael, ahoy, mate. Michael, 7862. Robert Peters, your grandson Charlie is here watching. Welcome along, Charlie. Hope you're having a good time. Rebel Nuts, ahoy, mate. Puru punts it into the stands in celebration. NRL debut. And what a moment that is. Scoring beside the posts for Braden Trindle to surely put this over without any fuss. But that's what I said about his last one. Trindle puts this one right down the middle. Sharks lead 8-0. What a start for the home side. Blayke Brailey backing up from Origin and setting up the first try of the game. Wayne Stretch, ahoy, mate. Saw over on TikTok, ahoy. TikTok seems to be holding up nicely at the moment. As I said at the top of the stream, actually, maybe we shouldn't jinx it. But I did say at the top of the stream, I'm trying something a little different over there so that we don't keep getting suspended every stream. But we'll see. Primrose, thank you very much for the 3 roses. Over there on TikTok, no suspensions as yet. Fingers crossed as Manly get us back underway. 11 minutes gone. 8-0 in favour of the home side. Eddie Robert, ahoy, mate. Primrose, cheers for the finger heart and the You're Awesomes. I still don't know exactly what a finger heart is, but I could say that about half the gifts over on TikTok. Some weird names. Fonua-Blake fighting his way up the middle. The Sharks are opening them up big time now. Boy, Manly, they're missing Olakau'atu in the middle. 5th and last on halfway. Good set of 6 after points. The kick downfield for Falolo takes it 5 meters out. Down in the corner, and a good kick chase keeps him pinned down there. Wow. So this is the Cronulla Sharks without Nicho Hynes. What have I been saying all this time? As Manly go for the early shift. Ability gets through the tackle. Brought down from behind by Burns. Gets up and goes again. He's allowed to play on. Steals 10 more meters. He wasn't held. Josh Felity almost opening them up. 10 short of halfway. Jake Trbojevic inside for Paseka. Stands in the three-man tackle. Big Taniela. Look at the size of him. They've got some big, big human beings there for Manly. 6 more tackles late in the count. Ben Trbojevic with the settler on halfway. Taking it back into midfield. Fogarty dropping off for Garrick. Garrick with the late offload out the back. Picked up by Simpkin, who goes for Brooks. And we've got time off here. Clayton Faulolo is in bad shape in back play. Clayton Faulolo is leaving the field, presumably for a HIA. 13 minutes gone in the game. Manly have been on the back foot for most of it. Fake Slim Shady, ahoy mate. Robert Peters, when is the next male round of Origin footy? In a couple of weeks. I believe it's, correct me if I'm mistaken, I believe it's June the 17th. So a few weeks more. Manly, 30 metres out from the line, have their chance to attack. Fogarty drifting across field, links up with Brooks. Oh, the 2-on-1 out to the right, and Ruben Garrick coughs the ball up. It was a bad pass. The Sharks outside men jam up. The pass was a little low and behind Garrick, and he spills it. This is not the clean, crisp Fosball that we've been used to in recent weeks. You get the feeling like Manly are missing Koula, missing Olakau'atu. Faulolo's now left the field for HIA. You just get the feeling they're missing their players a bit more than the Sharks are missing theirs. There's been Nicho Hynes. Hynes is out. Kalero's out. 6'4", Chris. Ahoy, mate. Joshua Stewart says Origin ruins the NRL. Manly, 2 of their best players out for 2 weeks. He's up over halfway. Toby Rudolph takes tackle 2. 40 out from the line. Building nicely again here, the Sharks. And Ramian runs in behind his own man there. Got to be careful with that. Halfway through their set, 35 out, Brailey. What an impact he's having. Oh, huge hit put on McInnes by little Jakey Simpkin. 6 more. Late in the tackle count. Fonua-Blake now 20 metres out from the line. 6 more tackles. Here they come again. Cutout pass for Trindle. Out the back for Kennedy. Quick hands. And it's lost by Ramian. Over the sideline it goes. They just got the set restart. And that is a huge, huge let-off for Manly. Kennedy got the ball out in front, and it was probably intended to be a cutout pass. So it didn't really need to be touched at all by Jesse Ramian. Oh, thank the Lord that he's off to the Cowboys, honestly. Joshua Stewart, oh yes, I read that one. Origin. Not a fan of the Origin players being ruled out week to week. Robert Peters watched your first Origin game with me the other day and enjoyed the old Panther chat. Yes, we will definitely bring the old Panther back on. Actually, for those on YouTube that are interested, we used to do a father-son podcast way before Matty Johns and Cooper Johns did it, by the way. We did it first. Called Generations. The playlist is available on YouTube as Ben Trbojevic coughs the ball up. Sharks back in possession. Too many mistakes early on here for Manly. Another incomplete set. So yeah, if you want to hear more Dan and Old Panther chats, we will restart that podcast very soon. But the archive is available in a playlist on the YouTube channel. Wasted Water Sports Generations. Feel free to check that out as quick hands here out to the left. The Sharks with Hiroti taking the ground just inside Manly's half. There's Olakau'atu and Koula watching on. Category 2, HIA for Jackson Sherab. Manly have lost another one to HIA. Clayton Faulolo already off the field. And Sherab is off now as well. Sharks, 2 tackles down, 30 out from the line. Fonua-Blake with the hands out to Kennedy. Burns again, goes through the middle. gets the offload for Trindle. Second phase play here for the Sharks. Trindle drops it off for Fonua-Blake, 10 metres out in front of the post. Oh, Billy Burns is having an absolute blinder. Brailey sends it left for Trindle, bobbles the ball, gets away from the first tackle. Simpkin comes back at him. 5 metres out just to the left of posts. Fonua-Blake at first receiver, intercepted. And Lehigh Hopawade saves the day for Manly. The Sharks were in the corner there. Mulatalo had a free run to the line. And Hopawade plucks it out of the sky. Saving the day for his team there. But this is now huge defense from the Sharks. Manly halfway through the set. And they're only just now exiting their own 20. An early kick from Fogarty from inside the 30. Gets it over the head of Kennedy. Oh, that's a hell of a kick. It might be a bit too big. It's going close to the dead ball line. It sits up a metre inside the dead ball area. And Kennedy now has to get away from the kick chase of Fogarty. He does. Oh, Jamal Fogarty, what a player. He very nearly turned this game completely on its head. 8 points to 0. The Sharks lead. And that's a hell of a kick. It's turned the Sharks around, and they've got to bring it out of their own end. It is they who are now 3 tackles in and only just coming out of their own red zone. Ramian puts the fend on Fogarty, switches direction, takes it up the middle. And the North Queensland Cowboys bound, Jesse Ramian takes tackle 4. Fonua-Blake straight up the guts. Gets the late offload back for Brailey, who goes up the middle. Ducks under the tackle of Fogarty. And Jamal sticks with him, 5th and last on halfway. Trindle puts a low, flat kick down the middle. Needs it to sit up in the in goal, and it does. And Faulolo brings it back. So Clayton Faulolo, he obviously didn't leave the field completely. He was heading towards the sideline at one point. I called him as going off for a HIA. So, yeah, it was pretty early on, I suppose. So he could have passed it, or maybe he just went off for a little bit of strapping. 6 more tackles here for Manly. 10 short of halfway, Lehigh Hopawade. We're still waiting for him to fully inject himself into the game. Ben Trbojevic running the inside line. Takes tackle 2 inside the Sharks half. Fogarty. Oh, Fogarty was cleaned up after giving that ball away. This is trouble. Penalty to Manly. Jamal Fogarty has been cleaned up after the pass. Back to the play. And that is always dangerous contact. Teague Wilton taking him down. A hit in the back after he passed the ball. Used to be a good hit back in the day. But these days, immediate penalty. Manly find touch inside the 20. Here's their chance to hit back. Paseka taking a ground 15 metres out. Big defensive set needed here from the Sharks. Trbojevic. That's Jake. 5 out from the line, just to the right of the post. Simpkin goes short. Back for Paseka. And Paseka seems like he might not be 100%, the big man. Fogarty wants it out on the right. Cutout pass is scooped up by Garrick. Gives it back to Brooks, who heads back in field. And he's been tripped up and taken down now by Toby Rudolph. 2 tackles left. Hetherington for Fogarty. Goes short for Ben Trbojevic. 5th and last. Oh, set restart on the 5th and last. Wow. Now that is an absolute coach killer. Ben Trbojevic backs over the line. Oh, and he's held up and driven back into the field of play. 3 tackles gone just like that. Hetherington at first receiver. Straightens. Has a little bit of a slip. And that halts his momentum. Simpkin goes right again. Fogarty thinks about grubbering. Goes out the back for Brooks. And Faulolo absolutely cleaned up by Hiroti. What a tackle. 5th and last. Down the short side to nobody goes Simpkin. Pops it back for Saab. They're getting in each other's way everywhere here, Manly. 6 more tackles. It was touched by a Shark. Brooks now creates space down the left. Brooks goes on his own, and he's chopped down 10 metres out. The Sharks have got to defend again. Ability, a metre out. They thought they'd survived, but then a set restart. Paseka, a metre out in midfield. Numbers out to the right. Fogarty turns it back inside for Faulolo. Teague Wilton's all over him. Faulolo flicks it out into midfield for Hetherington. Hetherington gets the arms free, but he's taken a ground 5 metres out. The Sharks are defending very, very well at the moment. Fogarty to Faulolo. Dummies and goes straight through. Clayton Faulolo. They finally succumb to the pressure, and Manly are on the board. It took 4 back-to-back sets, but they finally broke them open. And I would love to see that 6 again call. Here it is. I think, oh no, this is a replay of the try. I love to see that that call of touch and 6 again. You felt like it was just a matter of time from that point on. Spin a Shark, ahoy mate. $8 points to 4. The kick to come from the right sideline. Try for Clayton Faulolo. And Manly confirmed. I'm waiting for the replay. The referee called a ball was flicked back in field. Manly were getting in each other's way, left, right, and centre. A flick pass went back in field, and it was deemed to be touched by a Shark. They seemed unconvinced, but of course, there was no opportunity to stop and captain's challenge in that moment. Play on. The try eventually comes. Carl, thank you very much for the heart me on TikTok. Carl_11. As Reuben Garrick from out wide pushes it across the face. It's waved away, and it remains 8 points to 4. But Manly, with that 20-kilometre-per-hour breeze at their back, finally get themselves on the board. The S, ahoy mate. Garfish King, ahoy. Welcome along, everybody there on the TikTok. Doing all right over there on the TikTok, actually. Still no gifting suspension. I might have actually figured out what the problem was all this time. Oh, Garfish King, you found me from YouTube. Awesome. I was going to say, I don't recall the username Garfish King, but then on TikTok, it's very easy to change it, isn't it? Sharks get us back underway. Saab takes the kick off and gives it to Paseka for the first hit up. This game should find a little bit of an evening out process now. Oh, good news for Manly. Shire has passed his HIA. 6 more tackles for Manly. They're starting to build repeat sets now on the frequent. 30 out from their own line. 8 points to 4. 15 minutes to go in this opening half. A half largely dominated by the Sharks. But Manly are now starting to get themselves back into it. Jake Trbojevic carries to halfway. Halfway through the set, Brooks heading back infield. Takes on Cam McInnes. 2 tackles left this set. Paseka spins out of the tackle. Flick pass out for Fogarty. Fogarty one-on-one with Kennedy. And Kennedy brings him down 5th and last, 10 metres out. Down the short side, Garrick slips over and makes himself an easy target. That'll be a handover for the Sharks. Oh, boy. Daniela Paseka. The big unit up the middle. Sharks are well under the pump here after such a good start. Geordie, at the start of the season, you could breathe wrong and get called 6 again. Yes. I will say one thing now, as Billy Burns takes it up outside the 20. Another good carry for Burns. Brailey with no markers in front of him. Manly got no markers there at the tackle. Fifth and last, Trindle from inside the 40. Gets it over the head, but taken on the fall by Faulolo. Got it over the head of the winger, but Faulolo coming forward for it. Luke plays 98, ahoy mates, from the UK. Cheers to the UK. At least now I'll say with the 6 agains, they tell you what it's for more often than not, at least. It pops up on the screen. On Channel 9 at least. 6 again here for Manly. And that one didn't tell us what it was for. So, right as I'd said, they're doing well with letting us know what they're actually for. They didn't on that occasion. As Faulolo onto Garrick. And over on that right edge is where Manly's having a lot of joy. Sending a lot of traffic there. Garrick staying down, playing for the penalty. Gets up and plays it very, very slowly. Fogarty in midfield for Hetherington. Hetherington steps inside. Dizzy the Egg Hazelton. Sharks under the pump, big time. Fogarty. Short ball for Ben Trbojevic. Easy read there for the Sharks defence. Fifth and last, 20 metres out. Jesse Ramian's hurt. Fogarty kicks across field. Lands it perfectly right outside the try line. And it's taken well. Hiroti under immense pressure. Jesse Ramian still down in back play. He's with the trainer at the moment. The Sharks down a man as Mulatalo brings it out to the 20. Hazelton straight up the middle. An easy 10 metres there for Dizzy. Slow play the ball. It's a set restart. The Sharks finally get some back-to-back. 10 short of halfway. Ruck infringement. Brailey goes out of dummy half again. Oh, he's a menace. Blayke Brailey. Another set restart here for the Sharks. Wilton. Offload back for Brailey. Gives it to Kennedy. Kennedy. Too much pace for Jake Trbojevic, but he's brought down 30 metres out now. Tackle 2. Hazelton carries again. Runs over the top of Jake. Tripped himself up 20 metres out. Brailey from dummy half again. Linking up with his runners everywhere. Brailey. Trindle back inside for Burns and play breaks down. They get in each other's way. Billy Burns on play 4. Brailey from dummy half again. Hazelton angling back in towards the posts. Fifth and last. They're a metre out. Brailey for Trindle. Grubbers in behind the line. Faulolo bats it dead. Goal line dropout incoming. And that was a good response from the Sharks. They've had to defend about 8 or 9 sets in a row, it feels like. With a try in the middle, they got a few set repeats of their own. 11 minutes to go until the halftime break. Manly goes short with the restart, looking for Saab. Saab can't get through to put pressure on. And it's taken by Stone Street. Brings it back into midfield for the Sharks. 20 metres out in front of the posts. What can they come up with? Jesse Colquhoun on the field. Craig Howarth, ahoy, mate. Brailey. Flat pass for Hazelton in front of the posts. He's put on his back 10 metres out. Brailey goes again for Trindle. Out to the left for Puru. They're up quickly on him. Ruben Garrick racing up to put the pressure on the young fella on debut. And he's crept off the mark here, told to go back and play it properly. Still there for the Sharks, though. McInnes on the crash ball. Fends away from 1. Fends away from 2. Still going, McInnes. Fifth and last. Half a metre out. Brailey sends it left. Trindle passes to Wilton. Flicks it up, and it's dived on by Bullymore, who can't control the ball. Bullymore's knocked it on. Sharks will get it back. Great defense on the goal line from Manly, but Bullymore trying to secure the loose ball. And he's knocked it on. Sharks, they'll get a full set of 6. How are you, Craig? You hope the Sharkies beat the Chip Thieves. Oh, this is a huge opportunity now. Scrum down. Here's Ramian from a standing start. 10 metres out from the line. That right leg heavily taped up now. Jesse Ramian. Hazelton the decoy. Infield for Colquhoun. Jesse Colquhoun. Half a metre out right on that right upright. Brailey takes a step. Gives it to Trindle, who turns it back inside for Wilton. Wilton puts the step on and scores. Teague Wilton. Oops. I wish it was Burns. Teague Wilton. There we go. Sharks are up 12-4, kick to come. Some really poor defense at the back. Well, some really poor defense in the front line, more so. Wilton just stepping straight through. And Clayton Faulolo, there wasn't really a whole lot that he could do. Big Teague Wilton stepping back in field. The Sharks, 12 points to 4, the kick to come. Try confirmed. And he's pumped up, Big Teague. Six season tries. So he knows his way to the line. That inside ball from Trindle makes easy work of Nathan Brown. And once he's through Nathan Brown, poor Faulolo didn't have much hope. Shadow, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Much appreciated. 7.5 minutes until the break. Braden Trindle from right beside the post. Another relatively simple one here. He pops it over and the Sharks lead 14 points to 4. Shadow, cheers for the Go Popular. Much appreciated, mate. Boy, what a first half this has been. ARW says Ethan Strange has only English and Maori ancestry, born and raised in Australia. Looks like he could be the 6th for the Kangaroos at the World Cup. Looks like he could be the 6th ongoing for the Blues. Even if Mitchell Moses is fully fit for Game 2, how do you take Ethan Strange out of that lineup as the Sharks let the kickoff bounce? Always dangerous. They've come down with it anyway, and Hazelton will take the tackle just inside their own 20 here. Mulatalo back in towards midfield. Yeah, Ethan Strange, surely you can't take him out of that squad, even if Moses is fit. Brailey out of dummy half again. Short for Colquhoun. Blayke Brailey having a blinder backing up from Origin. And here's Talakai, the sofa, up at halfway. The Perth Bears bound sofa Talakai. 5th and last, and Puru will get his first kick of the night. A high one into the night sky. Faulolo comes forward for it and takes it on the 20. Six and a half until the break. Sharks up 14-4. Here's Lehigh Hopawade swamped by the Sharks defenders in midfield. They are not giving Lehigh an inch tonight. Garrick angling back in. Hazelton brings him down with Talakai and Wilton. Laiafi up to halfway. 2 tackles left now for Manly. Nathan Brown on the 5th and last. 45 out. Fogarty puts the high ball up. Garrick might have been a step offside, but there's no kick chase pressure at the back, and Stone Street under no pressure loses the ball, but it's luckily enough been called backwards. Stone Street now has the ball ripped away by Jason Saab. A one-on-one steal, penalty Sharks. Yeah. Penalty to the Sharks. He'd already gone to ground by the time that ball was ripped out. Oh, they did their best to give that ball back to Manly every which way. From inside their own 20, the Sharks will find touch 10 short of halfway. Hiroti taps and goes. Bumps into Ruben Garrick. There'll be frustration here for Manly. That little sequence, thought they had a knock on, thought they had a one-on-one steal. Somehow they've ended up 40 metres retreating back upfield. Hazelton, the double pump and the dummy. He's taken down 35 metres out, building nicely once again here, the Sharks. Talakai on the inside line. Still going. Good pickup for the Perth Bears, actually. Talakai. Trindle kicks early here on play 4. Finds space in behind. Mulatalo chases through. Faulolo overruns it. And scooping it up to score is Billy Bloody Burns. The Sharks score in the corner. Not the way I envisioned him getting a try. I had him in my try scorers multi, of course, there. Leg 4, Billy Burns. That's not how I envisioned him scoring, though. Faulolo overruns it. Mulatalo overruns it. And Billy Burns says, thanks, I'll have a piece of that. Now, I accidentally put him up before. We can put him up for real this time. Billy Burns with our first tick off the multi. The Sharks, 18 points to 4 with the kick to come. Well, there you go. I had him in my same game multi. I've got to say, a try in the right corner is not what I expected. I thought he'd score up the middle, running that inside line. But I'll take it. It's a tick off the multi. And what a start here for the Sharkies. The home side up 18-4 with the kick to come approaching the halftime break. What a pickup on the run. Craig Howard says if the Blues men's team win the State of Origin series, you're going to post on Facebook about how Queensland don't get Origin. Braden Trindle from the sideline. Moves in, strikes it well, but it pushes across the face. And it's waved away. 18 points to 4. Sharks lead. Remember, Manly had that big breeze at their back for this first half. They haven't really utilised it, although Fogarty's pulled out the early kick once or twice. And he's used that to his advantage, that breeze. But outside of that, surprised tactically that there's not been more early kicking from the Sea Eagles. Back underway, and they send it into that familiar right corner for Kennedy and Hazelton. Taken down, 10 out from the line. It's not the greatest of kickoff returns. Joshua Stewart says, Sharks playing great. Man, they're going to have to dig deep in the second half. Will be a good opportunity to see if they have some character. Oh, believe me, they do. Emore says, when State of Origin comes to New Zealand next year, it'll be a different story. More Maroon fans over here. As good carry there from Talakai. Up to the halfway line they go again, the Sharks. Colhoun takes the fifth and last. 45 metres out in midfield. Trindle puts the high ball up. Mulatalo's flying through here to put pressure on. What a take from Faulolo at the back. 2 minutes until the break. Sharks up 18 points to 4. Stevenson, ahoy mate. Stevenson, Lavette. Go the Sharks from Papua New Guinea, East New Britain Province. Hacked, ahoy mate. You just need Lehigh Hopewada to score. Same here. Well, I need Lehigh and a couple more, but Lehigh Hopewada, I don't think once so far this game he has had the ball in attacking range. Oh, very loose pass. Well scooped up. Falolo picking it up off his ankles. Fifth and last for Manly here. Another under 30-metre set. Fogarty. A big spiral bomb. Kennedy lets it bounce, and it will bounce over the dead ball line for a 7-tackle set. There's that breeze. It got hold of that one, every single piece of it. Jamal Fogarty sends it up into the night sky. The breeze picked it up and did the rest. 7-tackle set inside the final minute here for the Sharks. Do they try for more points, or do they just accept this 18 points to 4 lead? You'd almost you'd want them to go for more points, surely. Slow play the ball. Here's Kennedy straight up the middle. Kennedy bends the line. 6 more for the Sharks. 20 seconds to go. Kennedy plays it quickly. They're on the front foot. Brailey goes straight up the middle. Oh, what a game he's having. Offloads. Mulatalo steps inside Brown. Steps away from Fogarty. Numbers out to the left for the Sharks. Wilton goes on his own. Big don't argue on Ruben Garrick. Back in field for Puru. This is it. Time's up on the clock. Crossfield kick from Trindle. Sits up for Burns. Burns gets a double. Billy Burns gets 2. Another one for the Sharks. Crazy. They've gone the length of the field, and they've scored another one before the break. A breakout from Will Kennedy, backed up by Mulatalo. And inside the final minute before the halftime break, they've gone the length of the field. The kick pass over Lehigh Hopoate's head. And Billy Burns pulls off the unlikeliest of doubles, standing out on the right wing. Burns with 2. And he is loving it. Billy Burns back to back. Braden Trendle had it on a string. Perfectly positioned. Oh, they love it on the bench. They love every minute of it. Billy Burns loving it the most out of everybody. Can't contain his screaming. 22 points to 4 at the halftime break. Trindle. Can he cap it off with a sideline conversion? Tries confirmed. I think he's going to miss it. He got distracted and then he didn't retake his lineup. Yeah, pushes it way across the face. He should. When he got distracted there and stepped away from his position, he should have reset himself. He just turned straight back around and went for it and pushed it across the face. No surprise once I saw that he missed it. 22 points to 4 at the break, though. The Sharks. An unlikely first half double for Billy Burns. I say unlikely not because he scored tries, because I had him in my same game multi. He knows how to score tries. He just doesn't normally score them standing on the wing. Once, let alone twice, all in the same half. Crazy stuff. What a first half for the Sharks. It was a great start. It was a great finish. They had their usual mid-half drop-off, which allowed Manly to get their first points. But outside of that, what a half it's been. Long-range effort and Sharks torpedoing the Eagles here, says Robert Peters. Elijah Wesley says, make a comeback, Manly. Craig Howarth says, if the Chip Thieves lose tonight, you'd have to say that maroon is a loser colour this week. Oh, Craig Howarth. He is sticking it into the Queenslanders. Got to be careful with that, Craig. Got to be very careful with that. And the Sharks are kind of sky blue, yes. All right, Waste of Water Sports. live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Twitch each and every week. More to come here in the second half. Can the Sharks go on with it? Can Manly fight back? We'll find out soon enough. Let's see. Some quick stats here, if they've updated. I just want to see. Blayke Brailey, by the way. Blayke Brailey's got to be close to man of the match at the moment. If the Sharks go on with it, Brailey's first half is surely man of the match worthy. Jack Glenn, ahoy mate. Listening from Udon Thani, Thailand. Thank you for great call in a game. So, cheers, Jack, and welcome back. I should imagine that it's quite difficult. Although over in Thailand, there's probably some sports bars that play the footy from time to time. I know there was a mate of mine. This is not related to Thailand, but yeah, there was a mate of mine who goes over quite frequently to Cambodia for work. And he reckons that where he was staying, the locale where he was staying, there was like one sports bar. And he's like, you go in and it's just all white people watching the watching the sports. Watching the footy and Aussie rules and everything. So I should imagine there's probably a place like that somewhere that puts the game on. All right, what am I doing? Oh, stats. Stats at the halftime break, 54% possession in favour of the Sharks. Completion rate. Well, Manly haven't been too bad, actually. 16 from 18 completions. Those two incomplete sets were pretty early on as well. So it's just been time in possession. They haven't got their hands on the ball as much or done as much with it. 92% completion rate for the Sharks. So yeah, I find that really interesting, actually. I thought Manly's completion rate would have been worse than that, quite honestly, given the disparity. 20 tackle breaks to the Sharks, though, is a big difference. 20 tackle breaks. Manly have only made 9 tackle breaks. The average set distance, only a couple of meters between it. I find that difficult to believe as well. But as we know, sometimes stats are quite deceiving, aren't they? This has been a biggie. 100% kick defusal percentage from the Sharks. 60% kick defusal by Manly. So, as we know, the Sharks have scored a couple of tries from kick. So that's a bit of a discrepancy as well at the halftime break. Oh, right, Jack. Okay, Jack Glenn, not. There's no sports bars showing the Australian sports when you live in the middle of bush and around rice fields. Fair enough. At that point, you're your own sports bar, aren't you? And in which case, I'm very, very honoured that you've decided to come and join us for coverage of the games. And I'm glad that I can be of assistance. Big Pelican. I was wrong about this one. I don't like flip-floppers, but I've seen enough. I'm officially off the Manly bandwagon. My God, you're jumping off a bit early, aren't you? When you think about it. Anyways, I'll finish your comment. You're jumping on the Knights at $23 to be the winners of the comp. Ponga is the best. Now, to your wider point, I feel like you're jumping off a little bit too early. It's only one half of footy. Don't think for 1 second a team can't come back from 18 points down in 2026. We literally just saw it happen on Wednesday night. 40 minutes of footy, anything can happen. 18 points is not the end of the world. Also, you've got to remember the players that Manly are missing at the moment, I think, are way more impactful than the players the Sharks are missing. Now, Briton Nikora did not back up from Origin for the Sharks, but he can't even crack the starting squad at the moment anyway. So Nikora is essentially just a bench player at the moment. Billy Burns, Jesse Colquhoun, and Teague Wilton have kept him out of the squad, basically. So Nikora's not that much of a loss. Nicho Hynes, well, I've always said that the halves for the Sharks go better when Nicho's not playing. So I don't think he's as big an absence as people are making out. And Kealero was a late withdrawal from the team. He's a pretty big out, Kealero, but Mawani Hiroti, boy, defensively anyway, he might not have the same punch on attack that Kealero does, but Hiroti, what he's done tonight defensively, he has made Ruben Garrick's life a living hell in that opening 40 minutes and shut him down completely. So defensively, Hiroti's been outstanding. So the Sharks haven't really missed anything. Manly, though, no Olakau'atu, no Koula. Tom Trbojevic, of course, is still out injured. Olakau'atu's been a huge missing piece in the middle. And to add on top of that, Jackson Sherab, who's in for Olakau'atu today, went off early for a HIA. He passed the HIA, but still, that was an early disruption. Leighton Faulolo, he's been solid at the back, but, I mean, wouldn't you rather have Tolutau out there? Either playing at fullback or even if Koula's playing in the centres. Josh Filidi. He hasn't really done anything to stand out. So, yeah, Manly might not be missing as many players at the moment, but the ones that they are, I think, are really impactful. Blayke Brailey backing up from Origin, the Sharks' number 9, man of the match performance so far. If they keep up in the second half, Brailey, for mine, gets man of the match. So, but yeah, don't think for 1 second this game's over. I certainly don't. 22 points to 4, that's nothing. Manly could have that run down in the opening 15 minutes if things go well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, everything to play for still in this one. 22 points to 4 at the break. The Sharks doing a job at the moment. They'll certainly be happy at the halftime break for once. Holm 25, Hockey, go Sharks for 21. For 21 to 30 from PNG. Robert Peters says too many errors by Manly, poor in-game play decisions. Well, that's the thing that surprised me about the stats. The fact that they haven't really made that many... well, yeah, they have made a lot of errors. But that completion rate... Their completion rate, 16 from 19, 84%. Okay, so it's updated and come down 1%. But still, 84% completion rate. And they've made other errors, of course. You missed tackles and failure to secure the loose ball. That doesn't go down as an incomplete set, of course. That's just an error when you're defending. So that's why they've got 6 errors to 3. And only 3 incomplete sets. Just in case anyone was wondering why there's the numbers don't exactly match up between those two stats. That's why. But yeah, I'm surprised by that. 84% completion rate is more than enough to be competitive. So it is interesting going into the halftime break. 3 converted tries, the difference, basically. Well, not basically. That's exactly what it is. Elijah Wesley says Manly will make a comeback like the mighty Blues. Robert Peters is just like, well, yes, it could happen. They won't. They won't come back. Hey, the Sharks, take it from a Sharks supporter. They have a history of losing the unlosable. I'm pretty sure they were in a very similar position a few weeks ago against the Rabbitohs. Or the Roosters. No, it was the Roosters, I think, and it was pretty early on. Yeah, it was because the Rabbitohs game, they didn't even show up. They got belted from start to finish. That's right. But yeah, Sharks against the Roosters. Where was that game? Quite a few weeks ago. Halftime, the Sharks were up. Well, that was only 22-12. They've got a slightly bigger lead here. But my point, 22 points to 12 at halftime. The Sharks were up and looking good. They ultimately ended up losing that game 34-22, so not a single point in the second half. This, of course, is not the Roosters. Queensland, OT, ahoy mate. Origin was crazy. Hello again. Ahoy there, Queensland OT. Origin was a good lot of fun. And yeah, here we are backing up again on Friday night. Difficult going, but Craig Howard says, if anyone is watching this stream at the ground tonight, can you go and buy a bucket of chips to distract the chip thieves, please? All right. Well, we've gone into the halftime. Same game multi, only one leg down. But what an important leg that is. Billy Burns. I threw him in there as a bit of an afterthought, really. I had a choice between Burns and Wilton because I figured that there would at least be one second row try tonight. I decided to go with Burns, and then when Wilton scored that try, I thought, that's it, I've done myself in. But Burns popping up out on the wing. A couple of opportunistic tries. The big man having a little bit of a rest out there on the wing. And he comes away with 2 tries. Dangerous Dan, ahoy mate. Brailey out of dummy half has been explosive tonight. I will be perplexed if Laurie Daly does not start him for game 2. He can play the full 80. The Blues don't need Robson at all. Fraser, Kiori, ahoy mates. Good luck to Hopewade and the rest as the Sharks come back out onto the field for the second half. 22 points to 4. Tonga 0690 Cam McInnes for the multi. Tell me if he comes on or if he's not. Ahoy there, Tonga. Cam McInnes is he spent a lot of time on the field. I'm sure that if he hasn't come out to start the second half, he will be on at some point for sure, you would think. As the Sharks with a real opportunity here, they'll get first use of the ball in the second half. An opportunity to keep the momentum going after the halftime break. Referee blows the whistle. Second half off and running. Manly send it deep over into that right corner, taken by Kennedy, and Hazelton charges it straight. Still inside their own 20 here, the Sharks. But yes, first use of the ball, first opportunity to build some momentum. Manly will be hoping to force an error early in the count. Get their hands on the ball and go on the attack. There's Talakai in midfield. Another good carry. Having one of his better nights so far, the Sofa. Big defense in midfield on Colquhoun. Stopped in his tracks by the Trbojevic brothers and Nathan Brown. Talakai goes again. Drops the shoulder into Brown. Bumps him off. That's a big carry from Sofa Talakai. Oh, now he's clutching his groin. He's copped a low blow. Oh, poor Sofa. Brighton the Nads. I don't care how big you are. A shot to the Nads is going to bring you down every single time. Let's see. Where did it happen? Somewhere in there. Well, it looks like he hasn't copped direct contact to the Nads. He must have just done his groin, and as he fell awkwardly and kind of bent backwards slightly. Well, that could be his night done. Struggling to get up and play the ball. Well, it looks like he's going to power on, the big fella, as Trindle gets this kick away. And it's taken by Faulolo. Manly, 30 out from their own line to start this set. Stephen Peake, ahoy, mate. Oh, no, he's struggling in back play there, Taukeiaho. If he's done his groin, surely he can't go on. Saab from a standing start, taken by Hazelton. Hopewade, very quiet tonight for Lehigh Hopewade, looking to get himself involved. He's taken 10 short of halfway. 2 tackles left here. They go short side. Simpkin, and it's lost by Brooks. Luke Brooks drops it cold. Channeling his old Manly, his old Tigers days there, Brooksy. The Sharks, full set of 6 inside Manly's half. Another error to start the second 40. Not what they needed. The Sharks have the scrum in midfield. Craig Ellis is like the greyhound on the footy show. Gonads. Oh, Puru takes the line on. Steps in and away. 40 metres out from the line. Colquhoun to Taukeiaho. He's busted groin and all. Taukeiaho still going. Brailey out of dummy half again. Goes short for Hazelton. 20 metres out now, the Sharks. If they're the first try scorers in the second half, that makes it very difficult. Taukeiaho at first receiver. Two tackles left. 10 metres from the line. Brailey goes on a run again. Out the back for Trindle. Drops it off for Burns. Burns looking for a hat trick. 5th and last. 5 out. Trindle. Grubbers in behind the line. It's a little heavy, and it's a 7 tackle set. Here's an opportunity now for Manly. 7 tackle set. Trindle knows how big that is. Screaming at himself as he walks back to position. Big, big chance now for Manly to get themselves back in this contest. Garrick heads back infield, heading sideways, gliding across the park. Links up with Filidi. And he's held up by Mulatalo. Brailey comes in to assist, but it's a penalty. Garrick taken off the ball. For the second time tonight, the Sharks have been done with a late hit off the ball. Big penalty, this one for Manly. Garrick still down. Scholastic. Ahoy, mate. Let's go, Manly. Fine in touch. 40 metres out from the Sharks line. Garrick looks like he's staying on the field. He's all good. He's up and going again. Here they come. Fogarty. Inside. Balaifi. 40 metres out here. Manly. This is their opportunity. Nathan Brown. He only knows one way. And that's forward. Fogarty. Out the back for Brooks. Dummies. Tries to cut back infield, but Brailey's all over him. 20 metres out, halfway through the set. Simpkin brings it back down the short side. It's battered down by the Sharks. It'll be 6 more tackles here for Manly. That will get a scrum down as Hiroti jams in, gets hands on the ball, shuts down the play, but gives away 6 more tackles. There's Tommy Turbo up the back of the coach's box. Just itching to get out there, you know it. Manly, scrum down, 20 metres out, lined up to the left, but they turn it back inside. Brooks to Leafi, 10 metres out. Fogarty heads back to the right. Falolo has it out the back, beats Hiroti, brought down by Stone Street, coming in off the wing. Good defence from the Sharks out wide. Fogarty to Brown, out the back for Brooks. Turns it inside. And Ben Trbojevic fights his way to the 10. Stands in the tackle, play 3. Simpkin for Fogarty. Flat pass for Brown. Taken down 5 meters out from the line. Good defense from the Sharks so far. Oh, 6 more tackles. Falolo, dummies, almost goes through. Another late in the tackle count restart. This hurt the Sharks in the first half. Will it provide Manly with points here in the second? Nathan Brown takes the tackle in midfield. Simpkin to Fogarty. Cut out pass left. Felidi can't get on the outside of Ramian. Olakau'atu into dummy half. Goes down the short side. Ducks out of a tackle. Fires it back in field for Brooks. And Jake Trbojevic from a standing start. Takes tackle 4, and it's a scrappy play the ball. Penalty to Manly, though. The ruck hadn't been cleared. And Jakey boy gets away with one there. Manly tap and go. The pressure stays on. Surely they come away with points here. Just like they did in the first half. Simpkin goes left again. Fogarty to the line. Out the back for Brooks. Turns it inside for Ben Trbojevic. Ben Trbojevic is over the line. Gets it to ground. Ben Trbojevic gets tick number 2 off the multi. I'll take that one. 22 points to 8. And Ben Trbojevic is hurt. He's hurt his shoulder. That's all right. We don't need him out there anymore. He's got the tick. I hope he's okay, of course. 22 points to 8. The kick to come. Ben Trbojevic. We're halfway there. Tick number 2 off the multi. Mulitalo and Olakau'atu to go. Surely they can both get over here in the second half. Plenty of time left. So Benny Trbojevic here just landing awkwardly on that shoulder as he plants his arm to score the try. He's just jarred it a little bit, I would say. Great effort from 10 meters out. Powers his way across the line. Here come Manly. 22 points to 8. The kick to come. And with the conversion from right beside the posts, Ruben Garrick, you would think, makes no mistake of this. About 15 meters to the left of the post. Puts it down the middle. Garrick converts. It's 22-10. They're back in it in a big way. 2 converted tries. That is absolutely nothing. The traditional Sharks second half fade out begins. What an effort, though, from Ben Trbojevic. That's why I had him in my multi. That exact reason. And he came through for me. Now I just need Mulitalo and Olakau'atu to step up. Let's get it out to some of the speedsters out wide. Get some wingers scoring some tries. As Paseka driven back in the tackle. It's been good defense from the kickoffs for the Sharks. And they've driven them over the sideline. A 4-man Cronulla tackle. Driving Shire over the sideline, and they get the ball back on play 2. Oh, that's monstrous defense. What were Manly even doing that close to the touchline? You go back in field, surely. Surely you turn the ball back in field at that point. They went the short side on play 2. 4 Sharks defenders hold him up and drive him over the touchline. Why, oh, why are you doing a short side play 10 meters out from your own line off the kickoff? Here come the Sharks now, 10 meters out. Hazelton. This is an absolute gift, this is. And they need to take advantage of it, because you don't get gifts like this too often. Brailey to Kennedy. Back inside for Burns. Can he get a hat trick? I hope not, because we need Mulitalo to score. Hazelton, straight up the middle. Dizzy plays it 5 meters out in front of the posts. Brailey will send it right. Trindle inside for Burns again. Halfway through the set, they've offered nothing at the moment, the Sharks. Colquhoun has it out the back. Takes the fifth and last. Do they want to do something here, the Sharks? Trindall dummies and goes straight through. Trindall spins out of the tackle of Faulolo. And tricky Trindall scores the try. A great individual effort. Briton, tricky Trindall. Catching them, napping. The entire set, they were just shuffling the ball on. And Trindall says, I'll have a run this time, thanks. Straight through some lazy defenders. And Faulolo at the back didn't have the power to hold him up. Lance it down. Briton Trindall. 5 tackles back to back. They were just shuffling the ball. And Trindall eventually puts the step on, catching them napping. Beautiful play. Fantastic individual effort. $26 points to 10, the kick to come. $28 minutes still left to play. Let's see what a sports bet offering me in terms of a cash out. As we just need Hopoate and Mulitalo. Whoa, okay. Trindall pushes it across the face. You can't believe he's missed it. 5 meters to the right of the post. That was a sitter. Okay. Not bad, actually. They're offering me $45.50 cash out. But, yeah, surely we get at least one more of Mulitalo or Hopoate before the end of this one. Those were the two tough legs were Burns and Trbojevic as Manly get us back underway. 26 points to 10. Talakai. That groin seems to be holding up all right. Mulitalo runs it back into midfield. They've been kept very quiet, both of them. Mulitalo and Hopoate, I'm talking about. 2 perennial try scorers. And they've spent most of their time this evening just running out of territory, taking hit-ups. Quinn, nice 7. That Sharks at the end of the first half was a beauty. I wish Super League teams tried kicks like that. 5th and last here for the Sharks. Trindall kicks from inside the 40. Backing up for it is Saab. Takes it, running back, takes it over his shoulder. And Saab will bring it back into midfield. And there'll be no more short side plays here for Manly coming out of territory. Saab is told to go back to the mark and play it properly. 26 points to 10. The Sharks on top. Hopoate taken down in midfield. And again, just like we saw from Mulitalo up the other end, we're so used to them scoring tries, but they're doing a lot of work out of territory at the moment. Simpkin gets his pants pulled down in midfield by Burns. Up over halfway now. Nathan Brown takes tackle 4. Can Manly get themselves back into this one again? Paseka rather, up the middle. Catch you later, Gamer Mel. See you tomorrow. 5th and last. Fogarty from 40 out puts the high ball up. Hiroti backing up for it. Sharks let it bounce. Saab takes it and scores. Oh, you never let the ball bounce. Jason Saab with the opportunistic try. The Cronulla Sharks all stand back and watch the ball bounce. And you just never do that. And there's an example of why. It sits up for Saab, who scores untouched. And what were the Cronulla Sharks thinking? Fogarty puts this high ball up. Hiroti has no intention to catch it at all. Stone Street coming forward for it. And it just bounces straight into the hands of Saab. And that is the easiest try that you will ever see. That's really, really just poor from the Sharks. Miscommunication between Hiroti and Stone Street. $26 points to 14. Try confirmed. And that was a big, big mistake. Garrick with an opportunity now to make it 10 points the margin. About 15 to the right of the post. Garrick moves in and he puts it down the middle. Garrick, 26 points to 16. They're getting closer and closer and closer. Manly coming back. The Sharks sleeping on that play. The comeback is on, Freddie. The comeback is on. Still need Hopewade. Still need Mulatalo. Can they come through for me with 24 minutes left to go? Sharks with the deep kickoff into the in-goal. Here's Paseka. And he gets some forward momentum. Still inside their own 20. Nathan Brown up the middle. They're bending the line now, Manly. 10 points the difference. That is nothing. Well, it's not nothing. It's 10 points. But you know what I'm trying to say. That's a lead that can be overhauled very quickly. Late offload to Brooks. Brooks in space. Up over the 40. Up over halfway. Only the fullback to beat. Brooks fires it inside for Fogarty. Fogarty toes it through. And Jamal Fogarty will score. Manly from the kickoff. 26-20. The kick to come. Ben Trbojevic with the late offload, and then Luke Brooks skins him. Gets around Hazelton. Draws in the fullback. The Sharks get hands on it and bat the ball down. But it sits up for Fogarty. Game well and truly on now. This is a simple conversion. It's about to be a 4-point margin. Try for Fogarty. $26-20 Fogarty, Garrick rather, with the simplest conversion he's had all night long. And the Cronulla Sharks second half fade out. We see it week in, week out. For many, many years, I've supported this team. I know all too well. Reuben Garrick from right beside the post to make it a 4-point ball game. Puts it down the middle. 26-22. And there's still just over a quarter of this game to go. Plenty of time. Oh, somebody's... Oh! Blayke Brailey, a suspected broken forearm. Trying to make that tackle on Jason Saab. Brailey's off the field. That's massive. That's massive for State of Origin as well. Brailey was one of New South Wales' best. He was the Sharks' best player tonight. Oh, dear. That's massive. The Sharks with no Blayke Brailey. He was tearing Manly apart up the middle. And look at the running now. The belief in this Manly team. 20 metres out from their own line. Brown plays it. Wakeham sends it to the left. Ben Trbojevic out to the 30. They're rolling upfield now. Short side again. Brooks takes them on once more. Well tackled by Cam McInnes. Play 4 on halfway. Fifth and last, just inside the Sharks half. Oh, they've spilt it here, Manly. They won't get the kick away. The Sharks to get the ball back. Well, there's going to be a captain's challenge. Captain's challenge. Feeling this call of knock on as there we go. Loose carry, lost by Manly, unsuccessful challenge. And then it is collected again by Manly, but off the hand of Simpkin, it looks like. Still waiting for a call on this one. Challenge unsuccessful. Sharks ball. There we go. After all that, 21 minutes to go. But the big news is Blayke Brailey has left the field. A suspected broken forearm, which is just massive. Not just for this game. He's obviously out of this game, but that will take him out of State of Origin number 2. A broken forearm, that's likely to be longer than 3 weeks, put it that way. He'll likely be out for a bit longer than 3 weeks, and that's huge. The Sharks now, can they recover? Because Manly have them absolutely under the pump. Holhern takes play 4, 40 metres out in midfield. Yang, ahoy there, mate, as Hazelton goes up the middle. That's a good run from Dizzy the Egg Hazelton. 30 metres out, 5th and last. Trindle has it on the right edge, puts the high ball up. He's going to land it about 10 out from the line. Taken by Mulatalo, pops it back to nobody, and it's scooped up by Manly on their own 20. They won the battle in the air, but there was nobody backing up there in behind Mulatalo. "20 minutes to play. 26-22. After a dominant first half, Manly well and truly back into this one. Brown taken in midfield. Big defense from the Sharks. 10 short of halfway. And we've got an early kick here from inside the 40. Straight up the middle, but it bounces to Kennedy, hitting the ball at pace. And Kennedy almost back out to the 40-metre line here for the Sharks. Good field position. But not many players back for Cronulla here. Mulatalo is one of them. Doesn't make any meters up the middle. Mulatalo. Oh, he's hurt here in the tackle. Mulatalo's hurt in the tackle. Oh, dear. The Sharks have already lost Brailey. They could be about to lose Mulatalo. He gets his left leg caught under the tackle. Oh, twisting awkwardly. Fogarty down on the back of the legs. And he is in a world of hurt here, Mulatalo. Jamal Fogarty falling on Mulatalo's leg, landing awkwardly. And he is struggling. He's back up on his feet. He's on his feet, Mulatalo. He's going to play on. He's going to play the ball. Wilton up to the halfway line. On tackle 3. 19 minutes to play. Off down the short side goes Poodle. Slips into the contact. 40 metres out. Over on this left edge. From dummy half, Hiroti takes the 5th and last. 30 metres out. Trindle wants it in midfield. puts the high ball up. Trindle lands it just outside the goal line. Paololo comes forward for it and does extremely well. 10 out from their own line, Manly. Back in possession. Saab in midfield. Out to the 20. 18 and a half minutes to go. Hopewade from a standing start. Robert Peters says Sharks need to score next if they want the win. I think so. I feel if they gave up the lead when they've been leading from pretty much the start, it'd be too much to overcome. Fifth and last. Fogarty from well inside the 40. Pulls off a 40-20. Kennedy flicks it back in field. It's loose in the end goal. Kennedy gets back for it. Garrick's got him wrapped up. And it will be... Oh, the ball's been deemed to be in touch. Jamal Fogarty's pulled off a 40-20. Manly will get the ball back. Kennedy flicked it back into the field of play, but the touchy had his flag up. And the touchy's got this horribly wrong. The touchy's got it wrong. Where's the bunker? Where's the bunker intervention on that one? A 40-20 has been given. Kennedy kept it in the field of play. The touchy put his flag up. Here come Manly now. Paseka plays it 10 metres out. Jake Trbojevic. Manly coming for the lead for the first time tonight. 5 metres out from the line. Simpkin left for Fogarty. Out the back for Brooks. Turning it inside for Ben Trbojevic. Well read by the Sharks defence. Wakeham to Fogarty. Short ball for Sherab. Put on his back. 5 metres out. 2 tackles left. The Sharks are offside over here on the left. Fogarty grubbers in behind. Kennedy gets across for it. Ducks under the tackle of Ben Trbojevic and back into the field of play. Quality there from Will Kennedy. And a penalty now to the Sharks. Fogarty with a second effort in the ruck. Some tension out there. A little bit of feeling in this one. The Sharks just trying to hold on. They find touch 30 metres out from their own end here, the Sharks. But they're still under the pump. Jesse Ramian takes tackle 1. Can they turn this game around after being on top for most of the contest? Slow play the ball. They're really, really missing Brailey up the middle. Nowhere near the same play the ball speed and ruck speed. Out of dummy half goes Puru. Hohepa Puru into Manly's half. He goes. 5th and last. And, now it's the 5th and last. Okay. They put the graphic up a little too early. 40 metres out. Trindle puts the high ball up. Contestable one. 10 metres out from the line. Well taken at the back by Lehigh Hopewade. Manly in possession. Inside their own 20. Falolo had a very strong second half. They shift to the right. No, it's a dummy. Not fooling anybody there, Fogarty. And he's taken down 15 out, their own end of the field. Oh, high contact potentially on Garrick. He gets up to play it, though. 20 out. Slow play the ball. 2 tackles left. It's been a big set defensively from the Sharks. 5th and last. Manly will kick here from only their own 20-metre line. Fogarty sends it deep. Straight down the middle. Taken by Kennedy on the full. He winds up. Kennedy brings it back to the 30. Offloads inside for Mulatalo. Mulatalo certainly not looking 100% on that knee that got twisted up earlier. Stone Street now switches direction, heading for the right edge. Nowhere to go, though. He's taken down, still 10 short of the halfway line. Ramian, the settler in midfield on play 3. Rudolph back on the field. Straight up the middle. 40 metres out from Manly's line on play 4. Down the short side, McInnes flung to ground. 5th and last. Trindle hits it at pace, puts the kick over the top. Paololo comes forward for it again, batted back by the Sharks. Lost forward by Manly. It sets up for Fonua-Blake. Addin Fonua-Blake dives over and plants it down. But they will have a look at a whole lot of potential things here. It's gone up as no try. Stone Street's gone up with 2 hands to bat this one back. And ultimately ends up batting it back with 1 hand and cleaning up Paololo. This will be a penalty to Manly. Stone Street bats it back. Well, he's knocked it forward. Anyway. Stone Street with the knock on. And then Brooks knocks it on. Double knock on. Manly will get the ball. 14 minutes remain. Oh. 10 metres out from their own line here. Manly will play the ball. No try confirmed. Garrick plays it. Saab with the hit up. 14 minutes to play. 26-22. We were talking about the possibility of golden point in this one at the start of the stream. That is still very much a possibility. As Hopoate's tackled, still inside their own 20. Brooks turns it inside for Ben Trbojevic. They hold him up in the tackle. Halfway through the set now, Manly. 25 out from their own ends. Late pass out the back for Fogarty. Paololo, dummies, can't bump off the tackle of Puru. 30 metres out, solid defence there from the Sharks. Hetherington. Almost out to the 40 there on the 5th and last. Fogarty steps outside the 40, gets the kick away. Straight down the throat of Kennedy at the back. Kennedy wants a runner. He's got Stone Street. And Stone Street running 2 sideways. He's picked up and driven back into the 20 by the Manly kick chase. Mulatalo back for a carry. Makes 5 metres. 12 minutes 40 to go. Ramian. Straight up the middle now goes Hiroti. Nothing really doing this set here for the Sharks. They just want to get through it, really. Fonua-Blake beats the first tackle. Bends the line up to the halfway mark. He goes 5th and last. Trindle running onto the ball. Puts the kick high. Another one for Paololo, who takes it and spins away from the kick chase of Burns. He's been very secure. Clayton Paololo. They've cleaned up their kick defusals in the second half. Have Manly. Belidi thought he spotted half a gap. Brings it out of the 20. Halfway through their set. Who's going to crack first here? 11 minutes 40 to go. You feel like it's almost a next try wins scenario. Fogarty will kick early here. Looking for another 40-20. This time he picks out Kennedy at the back. Kennedy will return it to midfield. They drive him backwards. The Sharks from their own 30. Out of dummy half goes Puru. Trying to catch them napping. That's what they've been missing with Brailey off the field. The darts from dummy half. And here's Hohepa Puru. Up to halfway. 3 tackles gone. Wilton on the burst. Into Manly's half. Fonua-Blake at first receiver, just shuffles this one on. And McInnes will take the tackle. They stay the short side here. 5th and last. Trindle puts the high ball up. Mulatalo chasing through. Taken by Paololo at the back again. Manly a metre out from their own line. Finding some space out of dummy half. Belidi. A good run. Out to the 20. 10 minutes, 30 to go. The Sharks holding on defensively. Fogarty onto Saab. Cut out pass for Garrick. Steps back in field. Offloads back for Saab. He goes again. Hiroti brings him down. Fourth tackle, 30 metres out. Back into midfield. Garrick gliding across the park. And he's taken by Rudolph. Fifth and last. Inside their own 40 again. Brooks this time. A low, flat kick down the middle. And it bounces up for Stone Street. 10 out from his own line. It's a great kick chase. And Stone Street straight into the shoulder of Wakeham. He's taken down inside the 20. Here's Mulatalo with a carry. He's chopped down 20 metres out. No runners back for the Sharks. Ramian had to come sprinting. 9.5 to play. 3 tackles gone. Does anybody take the chance? Who chances their arm here with an early shift? It's not looking like it's going to be the Sharks. Fonua-Blake takes tackle 5, bends the line on halfway. Puru keeps a low, flat kick over the top. Bounces for Faulolo, who traps it with the boot. And he brings it out of the 20. He's absolutely folded in the tackle. But just a little territory win there for Manly. Saab takes tackle 2, 30 metres out. 9 minutes to play. This game has turned into a complete arm wrestle as neither side wants to give away a mistake and give away territory. This tight battle. Wakeham for Fogarty. The shift is on to the right. Here's Garrick. Gets Saab in a little bit of space, but it shuts down. Huge defense from Stone Street. Sam Stone Street, one-on-one, puts Jason Saab down and over the sideline. Big defense. Oh, that's a big, big defensive moment there for Samuel Stone Street. One-on-one with Saab. And that forces the turnover. The Sharks, full set of 6 now. Inside Manly's half. They'll get the play the ball in midfield on halfway. McInnes. Taken down by Brooks and Ben Trbojevic. Fonua-Blake. Shuffles it on for Rudolph. 40 metres out now, the Sharkies. 7 minutes 50 to go. Fonua-Blake has a carry of his own. Good penetration on the line there. 25 metres out in midfield. Trindle for Burns, angling back in. 2 tackles left. McInnes at first receiver for Puru. Goes short for Wilton. And Teague Wilton stepping back in field. 5th and last now, 15 metres out. They don't want to give away a 7-tackle set. Puru will just surrender in the tackle. A couple of metres out from the try line. Not risking anything there, the Sharks. Puru surrenders the ball. Manly, 5 out from their own line. It was very, very defensive. And now they've forced the mistake on play 1. Big tackle from Toby Rudolph. Huge defense from the Sharks. They played it very, very, very tentatively on the 5th and last there, just surrendering in the tackle to hand the ball over just out from Manly's line. And then Toby Rudolph puts in the hit of all hits. Saab was in threat of getting driven over the back into his own end goal, and he forces the pass. A huge mistake. Sharks with the scrum, 10 metres out. Hiroti takes on Fogarty and Garrick. Stands in the tackle. 10 metres out. Ruck infringement, 6 more tackles. Trindle back into midfield for McInnes. And he's taken down 10 metres out in front of the posts. Short ball for Fonua-Blake. One-on-one with Ben Trbojevic. He gets some help from his brother and holds him up just a metre out from the line. Trindle back inside for Rudolph. Rudolph on the burst. Jake Trbojevic brings him down a metre out. Left for Trindle. Short ball for Wilton. Angling back in towards the post. Well read by the Manly defence. 2 tackles left. They stay down the short side. Trindle dummies. Can't get the ball free. 5th and last. What do the Sharks got? Puru will kick across field. Plants it perfectly on the goal line. Lost by Manly. Penalty to the Sharks. Kick chasers is obstructed, and they will take the 2 surely. With 5 minutes left to play, this is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Take the 2. Yes, Luke Brooks there clearly obstructing the kick chase. Cheeky little bugger. (26-22). 4.5 minutes to play. And it is, now this is interesting. Braden Trindle is not taking the kick. Up steps Mawani Hiroti. Now this is unusual because Trindle is the regular goal kicker, of course. Hiroti stepping up to take the kick. Of course you take the 2, Defunk. Put yourself out by 6 points, then you can't lose the game in regulation time. Manly are forced for a converted try to send it to Golden Point. Penalty goal is successful. Hiroti puts it over, and the Sharks are up by 6. 3 minutes 40 to play. Six points the difference. Manly now need a converted try to send it to Golden Point. Garrick goes short with the restart. Sends it out on the full. Garrick puts it out on the full from the kickoff. And the Sharks will just slow things right down here. A penalty on halfway with 3 minutes to go. Oh, no, they'll get the... Sorry, they've removed the penalty for that. I should know that. They play the ball, 10 short of the halfway line. McInnes fights his way through the first tackle. Fonua-Blake gets the bumpers up and goes down the middle. Rudolph with a good, strong carry. 40 metres out now. Are they setting themselves up for a drop goal? Fonua-Blake takes his second carry. Somebody's lost a shoe. 2 tackles left. They're too far out. Puru back inside for Wilton. And I should imagine they'll just put the high ball up here. Not risk the 7 tackle set. 5th and last. Trindle puts the high ball up. Now the Sharks must defend. Falolo comes forward for it and takes it well. Manly have got to go from their own 20-metre line. Score a converted try to send us to Golden Point. Rudolph with the head in midfield. 2 minutes left to play. Wakeham to the line. Out the back for Fogarty. Space now. Falolo goes through. And he throws the pass out for Saab. Saab is shown the sideline by Stone Street. And Samuel Stone Street, for about the 3rd time tonight, says, there's the sideline, big fella. I'm going to take you straight over it. And Saab is not used to that sort of treatment. He takes big offense. And there's some push and shove over the sideline. Samuel Stone Street. What a tackle again on Saab. Saab took big offense. Oh, Stone Street, he's just been given a contract extension. So he's pumped up and raring to go. And the Sharks, on the back of that tackle, have surely won this game now. That's got to be game, set, match, you would think. Bring back the biff. Bring it back. The Sharks will get the play the ball on halfway. More huge defense on Saab. Sam Stonestreet, probably the best game he's ever had since his debut. Manly need to try and force the error. 1:30 to go. Sharks up by 6. Kennedy takes a hit up. 40 meters out from the line. Fonua-Blake. I don't think they even need, unless they're dead set within range, I don't think they even need to worry about a drop goal here. Burns didn't get his hat trick, Billy Burns, but 2 crucial tries. 2 tackles left, 49 seconds to go. There we go. 5th and last, 25 out. Do they take it? Trendall puts it high into the corner. Mulatalo chasing through. Hopewade claims it. They drive him back into the end goal. He spills it out the back. Hopewade gets it to ground. It's a dropout here for Manly. The Sharks unrelenting here at the end of the game. They're not going to let this one slide. Brooks goes short with the dropout, and it doesn't find 10. It won't find the 10 meters, and that will be the match. They won't even take the last play, the Sharks. 28-22. And they sneak away with the victory. A big lead at the halftime break. I did say that it wouldn't be enough. It wasn't enough. They got there in the end, though, the Sharks. They've stolen one on the back of a huge second half defensive effort by Samuel Stonestreet, shutting down Jason Saab. Not a lot of players in the NRL can say that. And then the absolute gift 2 points to seal it at the end. It just relieved the scoreboard pressure. Ahead by 4, a gift 2-pointer to give them that comfort of a converted try, mentally knowing that they couldn't lose in regulation time. All the pressure went on to Manly. And the Sharks climb back into the top 8, at least temporarily. Manly, a little bit of a thud back down to earth, but they were, of course, missing 2 of their best players, Olakau'atu and Koula. But a gritty performance from the Sharks. They needed an effort like that, really. They've been so flaky all year long. Well, the past couple of years, really, in fairness. They needed a big victory like this, a big scalp. And Nicho Hynes, well, I've been calling for Nicho's head for quite some time. He struggles to get back into the team. Surely you've got to reward Puru for his efforts tonight. On debut, scores a try. Full credit to both teams. What a game it ended up being. 28-22, the Sharks at home. Hold on and secure a win. Craig Howarth, happy for the Sky Blue Sharkies. It's certainly been a good week for the Sky Blues. Oh, dear. All right, Waste to Water Sports crew, thank you so much for backing up with me after State of Origin. And Storm Roosters tomorrow. That's going to be a big one. Storm and the Roosters. Tigers, Bulldogs will be fun as well. So we'll be back, as always, tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. Catch you guys later. Until then, cheers. Sharkies over Manly tonight. Pretty performance. All right. Catch you guys later.
the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey! Ahoy! We're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Whoa, 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 ahoy, whoa, whoa, whoa. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and teddy pants less. From the kickoff to the final whistles blow, we'll take the two and then we're ready to go. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. We break down the plays, but it's all in jest. With a laugh and a cheer, we lay down our bets. No serious analysis, no expert critique, just a bunch of mates sharing plenty of drinks. Sideline jokes and post-match tales, all the big goofs and epic fails. We're not so serious and that's our style. With each ahoy, we raise our steins. Ahoy! Ahoy! We're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the choice. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. So come along and join our sporty crew, where the banter's always fresh and the laughs are true. Wasted world of sports, here's to more cheers. We'll see you on the pitch and drink some beer.